So Charleston shootings happened on Wednesday night of last week, and then Roof is caught, Dylann Roof, the guy who did it, and he goes in front of a judge, Judge James Gosnell, and then the judge does something that I find very, very strange. So I want to play audio of what he did for you guys and then talk about whether it makes sense or not as he asked for forgiveness. Really, really. Let's listen in.
I set the tone of my court. It's my courtroom. I take control over it, and I conduct business within the scope of the law. I'm a Charlestonian. Our community is hurt. Our community gets hurt. People have to reach out and tell them, it's good to grieve. It's best to learn how to forgive. There is a judicial process that will be taking place. You saw what these people did today. These people in Charleston, our citizens, they hurt, but they will learn how to forgive. That's difficult.
Wait, why are we having a conversation about forgiving immediately? Do you see after radical Muslims attack anything, judges in this country be like, hey, you know what? Let's begin the conversation with a discussion of how to forgive the jihadis. That's not what I see. That's not what I want to see. I don't want to see it when Muslim terrorists attack. I also don't want to see it when right-wing terrorists attack. You know, there's a lot of people out there, including the families of the victims, who are much, much better people than I am. And after the judge set the tone in this way, a whole bunch of the family members got up and also talked about forgiving. And remember, they were shot in a church. These are very church-going people, and in Christianity, yes, you talk about forgiveness and they talk about how God may have mercy on your soul, but that's not the conversation we have in a normal act of terrorism. When the Tsarnaev guy is brought in after the Boston Marathon bombing, are we bringing in people saying, we forgive you, bringing the family members immediately to talk about forgiving? Look, you heard it there. He said, it's good to grieve. It's best learn how to forgive. Maybe on another day, but not the first day that we brought the guy in. Why are we having this conversation? He says, he further says, the judge does, we have victims, 9 of them, but we also have victims on the other side. We must find it in our heart at some point in time, not only to help those that are victims, but also help his family as well. Wait a minute, were we talking about how we're going to help the family of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and how hey, you know what, Ramzi Youssef and all these guys, I mean, we got to help their family too, right? Because they're also victims. Did we have that conversation? No, we didn't have that conversation, nor should we have that conversation. I don't give a damn about Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's family, and I honestly don't give a damn about Dylann Roof's family. This is not the time, okay? But so why? Why does he do this? Now, some people think, oh boy, we got an issue on our hand with this judge. Back in 2003, when he had a black defendant in front of him, he said, quote, there are 4 kinds of people in this world: black people, white people, rednecks, and niggers. You're a judge. You got a black defendant. Don't say that, you idiot. Don't say it. He claimed later, oh no, I know the defendant. I know the defendant's father, grandfather, so I felt more comfortable saying it. And it's okay. I once heard it from a black guy. A sheriff's deputy who's black had said that first. That doesn't make it right, and you as a sitting judge shouldn't say that. But is it because the guy is racist? I don't know. I don't know his heart. I don't know if he's racist or not, and I don't care. But what I think is relevant here is he sees that kid who's a white kid from that general community, and what does he immediately think of? Oh, his poor family. Why does he think his poor family? Because when he sees that kid, he sees his kid. I don't mean literally. I have nothing against the judge's kid, but he can empathize with him and goes, oh, that's one of me. I see that. That's a reflection of me. That's a reflection of my family. Oh, we got to talk about forgiving. Oh, his poor family. Let's talk about forgiving. You see a Muslim defendant, a jihadi, whoever it is, right? Oh, no, that guy doesn't look like me at all. I don't give a shit about his family. I don't care about anything. We're not talking about forgiving. We're talking about how badly not only we're going to execute that guy, but which country we need to bomb and invade because of this. So, look, understand the context of all of this, right? So I'm not saying that we should never the family members who are much, much better people than I am should never forgive Dylann Roof. I'm not saying that we need to invade where Roof is from, which is South Carolina, which makes no sense, right? I'm just saying give me equal treatment. Let us be angry in the same way. Let us forgive in the same way. Let's have the humanity to see all of these people, no matter who the assailant is and no matter who the victims are, as all human beings in their full glory and their full evil. So, of course, Fox News does not see it that way. They're going to come in with a full-throated defense of the judge.
What he said to that courtroom was, there are two sides of victims here. There's the side, obviously, that we all recognize, the victims' families, those who perished, those 9 people. He said, but then there are the unknowing victims, or those that we might be unfamiliar with in this scenario, and those are the family members, all those people touched by the defendant in this case, which was interesting.
Interestingly enough, in talking about healing, he's already talking about forgiveness. He also shared with our producer that he was the victim of someone trying to burn his house down with his family in it. So he's somebody who has had to heal before.
Well, that's
he's someone who has had to forgive before.
All right.
Oh, yeah, it's a poor judge. Yeah, he once was a victim as well. Did he actually forgive the guy who burned his house? I don't know. We don't know that. But, oh, yeah, yeah, of course. Time for forgiveness. Yeah, of course. Joe, way to go, Judge, way to go. Yeah. Look, I've talked about this in the past. I used to believe in the death penalty. I don't now because we've executed too many innocent people and we've taken too many innocent people off a death row, okay? But the reason I used to support the death penalty is because I'm a person who generally believes in vengeance. Doesn't make me a good person. It doesn't. Again, the family members there that got up and talked about how God will have mercy on that guy's soul are 1,000 times better than I am, okay? But as soon as we bring the guy who murdered 9 people, one of the kids took a bullet for his aunt. He said, you don't have to do this. Dylann Roof said, yeah, I do. You rape our women and you're taking over our country. And he went to go to shoot the aunt, and the kid stepped in and took the bullet for his aunt, and he's dead. I'm not in a forgiving mood, okay? So don't start with forgiveness immediately. And you know why you do it, because you look at the guy who did it, the guy who's guilty, and you think, there but for the grace of God, go I. So you have a lot more sympathy for him than you do for any other person who does a shooting or an act of terror like this. Just acknowledge it, be real about it, and understand that that's your context.